Hello and welcome to the School Lead YouTube channel, and this is the Liverpool Matchday number 11 preview, and it's Liverpool at home to Watford. And if you look at our form right there, our form is looking pretty decent. We are still conceding goals, which seems inevitable now. I'm not even going to try and look for a clean sheet anymore, but we are still winning games, apart from the Man United game there. I think, along with Arsenal, with one draw in there, we are probably one of the most informed teams at the moment. We are kicking on. We keep getting wins. We are third in the table. It's looking pretty good. We're joint top, as people are saying, but we're not. We are third in the table. If the table was to end right now, we are third. And that is just the reality of it. And I say that because it does mean, I know I said last week about if we don't keep a clean sheet, I don't really care. But actually, when you think about it, yes, I should care. Why? Because at the end of the day, if we were to go close and go, when I say about 20 games in, 9 games away from this one, I will start to consider us about title talk and stuff like that as well, that we are in that conversation. Until then, I'm not even entertaining it. I really am not. We have been led up the garden path, and I'm not saying this about Liverpool in a bad way. We've been led up the garden path a couple of times over the past decade and stuff like that, where we go close and it looks like we're going to do it and we're going to challenge for the title, only to slip away and end up second or a little bit worse. And that's why I don't want to get my hopes up too far. I'm very happy that we're in a good moment. We're in good form. We're scoring goals. We're being very creative. But I am not getting carried away with this. I want us to enjoy our moments, and I'm not wanting to be one of those where it's our year this year. It's Liverpool's year, and then everybody laughs at you at the end of the season because you fell away. That's not what I want to happen. And maybe this is obviously where I'm hoping the partnerships between our back four and Karius will start to solidify eventually. I don't know if Milner's going to be back for this game. I'm hoping he's going to be back for this game, alongside Lovren and Matip and Klein. I'm not even doing the squad selector because I'm pretty sure everybody knows what sort of team I'm going to go for when everybody's fit. And as far as I'm aware, everybody's fit. So that's my back four right there. Karius. It's going to be Milner if he's available, and I hope he is. But a side note on that one was Moreno played pretty well against Crystal Palace. When I've gone back and watched the match again, I did criticise him for staying up the pitch a little bit, and he leaves us open sometimes, and that does have to stop. It wasn't as much as he did when it was last year, but he did improve in that aspect, and it was very good. So if he's available, I'm not too opposed to that as well, because he gives you quite a good attacking outlet. He gave Emre Can an assist. He's up there. He tries to get goals himself as well. So you've got a different outlet there that can help us. But if Milner's there as well, Milner's just solid. He is absolutely solid, and I love having Milner as a left back as well. Obviously, Lovren and Matip. Lovren, yes, he did make some mistakes in the Crystal Palace game, but he made up for that, got a goal, and a pretty solid after that as well, despite conceding another headed goal. But that was more, I think it was Moreno that was actually having to mark MacArthur, and that's a mismatch straight away. Other than that, I think obviously having Klein, unbelievable. He's an unbelievable player, and he'll do very, very well in this game. And Matip is just cool, calm, and collected. You cannot help but love the guy. Moving into the midfield, obviously we've got Henderson, Wijnaldum, and Lallana. Now, as long as they're all available, that is who I would be picking for damn sure. Now, I say for damn sure. Obviously, I am not taking for granted the fact that Emre Can has come back into the squad after being injured, and also coming in for Wijnaldum when he was injured as well. And he's come in, he's performed very, very well. Scored a goal against Crystal Palace, and obviously that could be the only position that might actually change. And if Can starts for Wijnaldum or Wijnaldum starts for Can, I'm not unhappy either way. I think they're two solid players, two very good players, offer slightly different things. I think you get a bit more with Emre Can. I think you obviously get a bit more drive, a bit more work rate. I'm not saying anything about Wijnaldum's work rate. He works unbelievably hard in that midfield. But I think at the moment, I think Can is obviously, he's a younger player. He's wanting to get more chances in and around the box and stuff like that. That's why obviously he got his goal against Crystal Palace pretty early on. I just think he's going to be much more, he would end up more of a goal scoring threat. Could be a bit more of an option. Will drive a bit forward. But I would probably put Wijnaldum in, because in this sort of game with Watford's midfield and their front line, I would want someone who's going to stay back a little bit more. Wijnaldum doesn't necessarily get that far up the pitch as much anymore. Kind of leaves it more to the front line, which we'll go over in a second. And he seems to just stick around like Henderson does as well. Henderson drives forward a little bit, but kind of leaves it obviously to Lallana to get a little bit more forward. They tend to stay a little bit back, shield that back four quite well in most games. Obviously, we still seem to concede at least one goal, but at the end of the day, they seem to do it quite a bit better. So that's why I would probably put Wijnaldum in for this game, because he's got a bit more of a defensive quality to him than Emre Can does. But I'm literally talking like millimetres, not like a gulf of defensive quality. And Can does have that defensive quality, but I think he's just a bit more. He will drive forward and he will drive attacks, which is not a bad thing, because it will help feed our front line. That's the only conundrum place I would say, if we had one, was who comes in, Emre Can or Wijnaldum. And for me, it would be Wijnaldum on this occasion, but that's nothing against Emre Can. Love the guy. I think he's an absolutely awesome player. Which then brings us on to our front line, which speaks for itself, in my opinion. I think you have to go with Coutinho, Firmino and Mane. Unless there's an injury, I just think that front line, as pretty much most of the rest of the team, picks itself. The link-up play that those players have together is unbelievable. And it is shaken up a little bit sometimes when you put Sturridge in there. When he starts, anyway. I've said it quite a lot on some of these previews that I think Sturridge right now, and the same with Origi, because Origi is going to find it very difficult to get a look in as well, which is unfortunate. He is a very good player, and he does come on and he can affect play very well. You look at how he played when it was partnered Tottenham with Sturridge as well in the cup game that we had. When they played together, they played very well. They still, Origi didn't get any goals, but he was a very good player that day. But when it comes to the Premier League form, no one at the moment, none of them touch the likes of Firmino up front, Coutinho out wide, or wherever he wants to go. He's got a very free role. He can pretty much roam wherever he wants. And why not? I wouldn't tell him where to go. Do what you like. Do what makes you feel creative and get you your opportunities. And Mane is just unbelievable. Really is unbelievable. Other teams, fan bases and stuff like that, and even the media, were slating us for having spent so much money on Mane. But Mane has, I think, he's only gone on to prove that that's actually a really good investment, a very, very good investment. He's such a great player. And the way those three play up top, including Lallana, wherever Lallana wants to go, it's an unbelievable threat to any team that we come up against. Now, Watford will have their threats as well. They'll have their threats to us. We can't obviously erase what happened last year when I think we got beat by them 3-0, didn't have a great deal of opportunities. I just think it's completely different now. It's a completely different playing team. We've still got some of the same players that will be playing, no doubt. But I think our team plays a lot different. I think we'll be able to deal with Watford's attacking threat that they do have. I think we're going to be able to blunt a lot of their opportunities. I do think that they'll score. I just think that's the way it is at the moment. But the difference I have this year, and obviously now 10 games in, this is the 11th game coming up. When we concede, I don't fear it anymore. When we concede, I don't immediately, my heart doesn't sink. My heart might go a little bit crazy. So like when you're doing like the Palace game and you've got Liverpool score, Palace score, Liverpool score, Palace score, and you're doing that sort of thing, it's like a frigging FIFA game. It's like, for God's sake, guys, come on, just do it. And they score 2 goals and I'm like, finally, that's what I wanted, 4-2, and that's how it ends. Whenever we concede goals now, my heart doesn't sink to the floor, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans feel the same. I think us being at home will help as well. Our atmosphere, the fans that are there as well, will only help the team. And that's why I do think that Liverpool will walk away 3-1 victors. And that is backed up. Now, I didn't record it, but I backed it up by a FIFA game that I played where it's I will record the next ones for the forthcoming weeks. I just didn't get time to, and I forgot to record it. Against Watford on FIFA. And we won 3-1 in that game as well. They scored in the second minute. I'm hoping they don't do that today. They cannot score that early on. But even so, we won 3-1 on FIFA. I think we'll win about 3-1 in real life. But the most important thing as well is, what do you guys think? How do you guys think this game is going to go? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, in terms of my player of the match, I'm going to go for the same one that I went for last week, and it worked out pretty well. In that, I think it'll be Philippe Coutinho. I think Coutinho will be world class in this game. I really do. I think he's going to be absolutely awesome. He's going to be pulling the strings like he always does. And I think it's going to be Coutinho who is going to be our star player of this game. And I think Coutinho has a chance. I'm going to go out on the limb. I said in my Premier League preview yesterday, I'm going to put in who I think is going to be star player of the weekend. And for me, I am going to go out on a limb, and I think it's going to be Coutinho. I just think that he's coming into this realm of form at the moment where he's going to be creating chances, pulling the strings quite a lot for us. Obviously, you've got other players in other teams. You've got likes of Sanchez and Ozil at Arsenal that could be doing stuff. You've got De Bruyne, who's having amazing games at Man City. But for me, I'm going to stay close to my heart, and I'm going to go for Coutinho. I could be wrong. Someone else could go out there and have an absolute blinder, score a hat-trick and get like 3 assists in the same game. But I'm going to go with Coutinho this week. But that will shake up. That will shake up from week to week. Anyway, that is my Liverpool versus Watford preview. Liverpool 3, Watford 1. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've liked the video, please drop a like on the video. It helps out so much. Leave a comment of what you think the weekend's going to go like for your team, our team, whoever. If you've liked the video, subscribe as well. You'll get loads more content and a lot more FIFA content, which is coming around the corner as well. Every week, Friday morning, the Youth Academy. Check it out. First episode went up yesterday and got quite an unbelievable reception. For me, anyway, it got a very, very good reception, and I was very, very pleased with it, really. I really was, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode. So as I said, like the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you ever so much for watching, as always, and I'll catch you later.